Hi beautiful, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to do somewhat a get ready with me using the products I purchased from Mecca. So this is going to be like a what's new in Mecca makeup look. The reason why I already have my base because I am currently testing a foundation and concealer. So if you see me wearing the same shirt, I filmed this the same day because why not? But anyway, I've already set my face. Recently, I was browsing on Mecca Maxima's website or Mecca Beauty's website, and I saw that they were selling Jouer products. I got the Jouer blush bouquet, and this is what it looks like. The packaging is very nice and unique, and this is what the actual product looks like. So this is like a duo blush, and I have the shade Adore Me, which is this one right here, and this one is called Hold Me. So this acts more of like a topper, and it comes with a mirror. The second Jouer product I have is the Sunswept Bronzer Duo, and I got the shade Medium to Deep. Again, packaging looks amazing, and this would be a perfect summer bronzer. This one is Sunset and this is Sunkissed. Both of them has got a little bit of shimmer, which I typically don't go for, but we'll see how it looks on the skin. So I'm going to start off with the bronzer, and I guess I will have to mix them both. Ooh, it's very pigmented. A little goes a long way, and looking up close you can't really tell like the shimmer. It gives a natural sheen to the skin as opposed to it being like shimmery, but that is so pretty. And mixed together that actually is a pretty color. Can't wait to show you guys the eyeshadow palette that I'm about to use. First impression, this bronzer is really nice. It gives me enough pigment. It's not too overpowering. And yeah, I feel like I'm glowing. So moving on to the blush, I am going to maybe start off with Adore Me, which is this one right here, the darker. And this is matte. This is a good natural blush color. It gives you a nice flush of pink. And it kind of reminds me of the Flower Beauty, the Flower Pot blush that I've tried in the previous video, which I will link somewhere on the screen. It goes on very smoothly, it's not overly powdery, and it's not too much or too intense. And yeah, I'm obsessed with this blush. And for highlighter, I actually have this birthday gift from Mecca Cosmetica. If you're a member of their beauty loop and then you spend like certain points, you get a birthday gift. So it was actually a nice surprise that I got a highlighting brush and the Enlightened Powder Mini. And this is actually a good highlighter. I've seen a lot of people use this, and ooh, it's a very intense highlight, which is a little bit too shimmery, but I don't mind that. So I'm going to try and use this brush on this cheek right here, and for the other cheek I purchased the Morphe round blender brush, which is this one right here. This is M510, and I would like to use this as my highlighting brush. And by the way, Morphe is now available at Mecca, which is really good, especially for us that lives in New Zealand and Australia, where everything is kind of hard to get. So I'm going to start off with this brush right here. I feel like I would use this more as a setting brush or like a contour brush rather than a highlighting brush. Wow, this highlighter is intense. And like when I swatched it, it looked a little bit too shimmery, but when you actually apply onto your face and blend it out, it looks more wet and natural looking as opposed to it looking very glittery. But damn, that's a very good highlight. I'm glad that I get to try this on a mini size before I purchase the full size. To be honest, who's gonna go through this unless you're like a hardcore glam makeup junkie? Then you probably go through this, but personally for me, I like more like a natural makeup, so this will last me for a very long time. So on this side right here, I'm going to use this Morphe brush, which all beauty gurus use. I love the size of this brush. I usually use the Wet n Wild highlighting brush, which relatively looks like this, but the Wet n Wild is a little bit more fluffier. But I feel like once you wear this brush out, this will look great. But yeah, it applies the highlight good. Like I love the fact that you could actually like concentrate it on one area, or you could blend it out, whereas this one right here is a little bit stiffer, so chances are you could only like apply it like a strip. I'm going to apply a little bit on my inner corner using my fingers and a little bit on my brow bone. Cool. So I have a few eye brushes here from Morphe. Most of them are the small brush because I have hooded eyes, so I figured that the smaller the brush, the better. So I have the M562, which is a very cute, a very tiny blender brush, which is good for precision. I have the M321, which is called the Bullet Crease brush. And then I have the M057, which looks like this. Again, it's a more tapered blender brush. And last but not the least, I have the M506, which looks like this. So M507 and M506 looks somewhat similar from afar, but M507 has more of a pointy end, whereas this one right here has more of like a rounder end, which is perfect for blending. So I'm going to use these eyeshadow brushes, and I'm just gonna quickly grab a bigger blender brush and a packing brush. So I purchased the Urban Decay Naked eyeshadow. Now I wasn't a fan of their other naked shadows, which is the Naked Heat, the Something Cherry, and the Smokes. The only other naked eyeshadow palette that I had was the Naked 2, which I unfortunately have to dispose because I've had that eyeshadow palette for about 8 years and it's time to go, but it was well loved. I've hit pan on most of the shades. This is what Naked Honey looks like. The packaging is so pretty, and oh, the box, it has honeycombed on the inside, which is so good. So it comes in like a plastic casing, which I don't really mind, and it comes with a dual-ended brush, which actually looks a lot better than their previous ones. Like this is more fluffy, it's not like stabby like the other ones, and this has got more of like a fluff to it as opposed to it being just like a very thin flat concealer brush looking end. And yeah, it comes in like a thick acrylic form for the eyeshadow palette. This is what it looks like, and oof, this is like the ultimate everyday eyeshadow palette for everyone, because you have a mixture of golds, green golds, bronze, some copper, and like a few transition shades, which is really nice. So for today's look, since I look a little bit bronzy, I might as well go for a more bronzy look. I am going to start with this transition shade called Keeper, because it has more of like the warm undertone, and we'll see how that will look like. Ooh, on my lids. Wow, I did not expect that color to look like that. That is so pretty. I've never owned any brown eyeshadow with that kind of undertone. I did not even have to work hard. Just blends right on. So I'm going to go and use the Morphe M506 brush, and I am going to go and dip into the shade called Drip. And I'm going to focus that on the outer V, slowly bringing that up. And then going on to the crease. Brush is great because it gives you a really good precision. And I am going to go and use the M321, which is the bullet crease brush, and I am going to slowly build that up. Same shade called Drip, and kind of just slowly drag that into the inner part of the outer V. And then I'm going to go and use this shade called Sting with the bullet brush and use that just on the lower lash line. On the lash line. And I am going to go back to Keeper, which is the transition shade, and blend everything. Going back to the M507, I'm going to concentrate that on the inner part of the lid, and then I'm going to grab this really tiny blender brush with no product and try to blend everything. So I'm going to grab and use the flat shader brush that comes with a palette and grab this shade Amber and pack that onto the lid. Oh my gosh. See, Urban Decay shimmers are just so pigmented. Like, you don't even need any primer or anything like that because they just shows up on your lids. This look is great because we're coming into summer now. So I would definitely rock more of this type of look, or even just like this shade alone all over my lid. I'm going to grab the M507 once again and go back with Drip and kind of just marry this shade together so we have a good transition. I'm going to pop a little bit of honey, which is that green gold, using my finger and kind of just pack it on top of Amber just for a little bit of like dimension. For the lower lash line, I am going to go and use the bullet crease brush from Morphe, and I'm going to use the shade Keeper, which is the transition shade that we use. And then I'm going to go and use Drip and apply that on the outer corner. And a little bit of Sting, which is the darker shade. For the inner corner highlight, I will use this shade called Golden. Last but not the least, I am going to finally try the Morphe setting spray. I don't know what it smells like. Oh, it smells musky and perfumey, which hopefully will not react to my skin, but the mister itself is pretty good. And yeah. Ooh, that's a little bit too much. Here it is, folks. Here's my final makeup look. Overall, I actually do enjoy this makeup look. Generally, the favorite and the star of the show is this Naked Honey palette. Like, this is actually a good transition palette, like more of like an in-between. So if you're currently in autumn, this is a autumn or fall, this is a good palette. If you're going into spring and summer, this is actually a great palette to have. As for the Jouer products, they're great. They're a good addition to my makeup collection, and I could see that this is going to be like a staple product this summertime. For the setting spray, I can't really tell you much about this, but it definitely took a little bit of the powderiness on my skin. The mister itself is great. The scent, however, has got a little bit of like that perfumey scent, so if you're sensitive, you probably won't like it, but personally for me, it goes away in like a few seconds. These brushes are great. I still have to try on this 562 fully just to see how it works. Highlighter, oh my god, it's the bomb. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more updates. Have a good day, and until next time, bye.